Alright, well it's day number 3 here. Been cracking along on these heads. This is my little, I think it was 30 bucks. My valve compression tool here. Valve spring compressor tool. One of those Amazon things. Nothing great, made in China. A little arm. I'm sure it's made in China. But hey, if it works, look at it. Ooh, works good. I just actually put this head together in about the time it took me to put the clamp on one of them, so worth it to me. The only thing I found is the valves want to fall down in, so you put a rag underneath the side they're working on. Fold it up a couple times so it holds them up. They've got these metal blocks welded down there, but they're just not high enough. Actually, they look just like this. That little 3/4 square metric, whatever the hell that is. But it works good. Looks good. I'll put the other one together. I'm going to set you up again over here. See the pad? Set you up over here and get to work putting the other one together. Alright, be right with you. Okay, you should be good to go. Let me get a look here. There's the thingy. Okay. I might have to stop and clean some up. I'm not going to be talking to you too much. This is the thingy. Slides back and forth. You put it over your valve. Actually, I think I have it backwards. It's better the other way. That's much better. And I got a couple rags under here. My springs are over here. I might have to clean one or two. They look okay. I was taking off the little black O-ring, so I might as well do that now. I got something rag. I have to work on this side. I moved the fan outside a little bit so it wasn't so loud. I noticed yesterday it was kind of a pain in the neck, but what do you do? Alright, valve's being pushed up by the rag. There's a spring. There's a tab. I got 400 keepers right here. Valve keepers. I'm going to shoot for this one first. This up in here. And notice you use your thumb and steer it a little bit. Put one keeper in, back in the front. Trike is getting it in there. Oh, that's one. Alright, there's one. It ain't going to go flying on me now. I had a little screwdriver. Where'd that go? Here's number 2. Valve sinking on me. I found it better if you put it under your arm. Now I gotta move that rag, it's letting it sink. Not the greatest of designs. Maybe if I double it up and just stick it in here. Yeah. So close. Stand up. That's it. It wasn't bad. Guess I'm not struggling with some cheesy metal clamp. Well, can't say that this thing isn't cheesy. It works. Spring and another keyguard. These were all cleaned up previously. The worst part is keeping the valve up because this little thing, this little block that they get down here does not keep the valve up high enough. That's why I'm using a rag. Yeah, that works. Kind of tilts it though. See if I can go towards the back a little more. There we go. Middle here. that one's going to be nice. Alright, two more keepers. You know what a keeper is, right? That's half the valve. Yeah, see, the valve keeps moving up. About, let's go a little less. Maybe I'm hitting it the wrong way here. Make a nice little ball in the hole there. Yeah, it doesn't. I will definitely be working on that. Maybe add some bolts or something to hold the valves up. Always wear glasses. This keeper could come at you 100 miles an hour. Because what I've found is I have to put it under my arm, push it forward a little, get the front one in at least. Okay, there's the front one. And then push it down again. Struggle to see it up close because I'm wearing glasses. I'm getting all steamy. It does not like this keeper. That frickin' valve keeps going up. Going down, rather. Can't try it without it. It's stuck in it. That's why. There you go. Yeah, that's kind of a struggle with this thing. Funny how one can go in beautifully and the others struggle to go even anywhere near close to what you wanted. I'll stick something under here. Screwdriver handle. Even it out. Alright. That's why you wear safety glasses. You see that? I'm sure you get that on video. This just does not want to work that way. It's too much play. And these things don't exactly go in the hole very good. Maybe I'm rubbing somewhere. Seems to. Those things okay? Wait a minute. It's like 90 something degrees out today. It's beautiful out. Why I'm in here, I don't know. Oh, because I got a new fluid to try. Yeah, it just sinks. Let's see. The other head in friggin' 5 minutes. That should be better. There we go. Get the clip in there. Alright, I'm on the first groove. That's a good sign. Spin this one around. I can get this one in. Boing! Amazing. Over here, since that seems to work. I'm only going to use this tool like 5 times, so. Okay, there's a spring on top. This one I got to clean. That's a little nasty. Yeah, that one's real nasty. taking the O-rings off. I decided they pain in the ass. At least on this one they are. Okay, let's see how this one goes. Ooh, that one actually went all the way down. Impressive. Keeper. And keeper. Impressed. That went in real good. See if we can get this one going with it. Once again, the valve is sinking. My rag gave up. I tried another angle too. You got 3 holes here. You can try each one. The other 2 come nowhere near it, so. Move it, that should work. So that ain't gonna work. So we gotta go into here, make up the space. Push it down, but the valve goes down with it too. And we can't have that. Let's see if I can just stuff this in the piston hole. Put it up here. Yeah, I definitely got to make some kind of adjustment on this thing. Too much. Some kind of adjustment to put on these blocks because they don't like to stay. They don't like to hold the guides up because the valve's up better. A smaller rag, maybe. Folding it a long way, huh? Like this. Front of that. That would work. I can hold up the back. So let's hold up the back. Something. Anyone? Anything? Screwdriver. Big. Maybe too big. Damned. Well, that works. Let's see if I can get this in here. Yeah, I guess it's trial and error, you know. Mind you, next time we leave the valve sticky so it'll stay up. Yeah, I know we can't do that. I think it needs a little support across the back. Like that. It's something to hold these damn valves in. Too much? Let's see. Could also go for another hole between these two. One's too high, one's too low. So that feels good. Okay. Set my valve way over here. Gotta be some kind of convention. Pops it up. Alright, I gotta clean the spring here. I gotta find one. I might have one in the gray box. Alright, it appears I'm going to have to put a head in here so I can steal the valve spring and a keeper. So, well, I have the spring, I'm just missing the keeper. The top bar. I got plenty of those to take apart, so we'll take this one apart right here. Now here's a head that's all together. How easy is it to get them apart? It's that easy. Like anything, it's easy to get them apart. Oh, almost had it apart. What I need is a magnet. A little crusty. Let me clean this up. This is what I was missing. Not too bad. If anything, it's all about setting it up right. This is our first time using it, so what do you do? Half of it. And now the valve wants to go down. It's upside down. Hate it when that happens. Come on, I don't have little skinny fingers. Alright, I do. Here's my tweaker. So close. Get in that hole, you bugger. Plus the tip of the screwdriver would be just a little magnetic, so it would get in the way, right? Oh, come on. There it is, there it is, there it is. Oh, you fucking magnet. Fudge! Ugh. Okay, take a breather. It's so freaking hot. Woo! Not that I'm complaining. I've been waiting forever for nice weather. Now that it's here. Everybody's like, oh, it's so hot. Right? And I just put it in upside down. Come on, you fucker. Around. There you go. Go around. 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 When I lift it up, it races to the front. I think I got to get a different angle on this thing. I think this would have been great if they had put it at an angle forward. Because the valves kind of point towards the back, which is all fine and dandy until you press it down, and it's not pressing it down square. And you end up tilting it. Press doesn't understand why. So if I could get trash out of here. Put that screwdriver into here again. Now the valve wants to go down. Now I got the thing chock full of rags. Weird. No rag. No rag. Sit on your saddle. Doesn't like to fit. Because I always get the one that doesn't fit, you know. Okay, there it is. Pushing down. Gotta put something in there. Gotta be something that goes there. They didn't give me any bolts or anything. I wonder what the hell I can put in there. Maybe set a nut on the edge. A bolt in the hole. Try that. Might be the trick. It's a little better. Right there. A little more. Boing. Yeah, so that's tricky. That's real tricky. I'll be damned. Wow. That was a nightmare. Scratch the hell out of it. Wait a minute. Put that on there. Give me a minute. Okay. Well, it's a little tricky, and it works. Obviously they got these bolt holes for something, but there was no friggin' directions, just like anything else you get from China. Guys, include directions when you sell something. They got a little, 5/16, 18 bolt sitting in a hole. Let's try it on a head that's got to come apart anyway. That was weird. See it, you point forward a little. Picking them apart is nothing. That's like bing, it's apart. Keeper. I love when you hit it and it swings to the other side. I love that. Love that. Love that. These are kind of nasty. It's like some nasty dirt in there. That's being taken apart. Oh, let's move the bolt over. Bolt trick seems to work. Made in Japan. Yeah, coming apart so much easier, just like anything. Nasty. I have to clean all these up. Yep. I got to move the hole. Move the hole. You have to mod this thing a little bit. Mod. Yeah, look how nasty this is. Oops. Yeah, look how nasty this head is. It's in a good shape dual port. But look at the caca in there. See the caca? Oh, the caca. I don't know what it is. There it is. It's caca. Caca. Where's the other one? These are Rich's heads. With the same treatment, new guides, new this, new that. Okay, we're going to try the screwdriver bit here. The wrench fits. Wow, those are in there good. I can see that. Those were like bad. Good, bad, same thing, right? Wow. This keeper shoots across the room. I don't care. Not any worse than the other one. Nothing that won't clean up. We gotta move our bolt. I think I got a shorter bolt. I do the same trick. Do not push it up as high. I think it's in the gray box. Let me find them out. Here's a little shorter bolt. I think I'll steal the washer off this one though. Okay, we're going for number 2. Put this in here. Might work. That snap is the keeper's coming out of the top seat. A little rusty. They're coming out. Amazing how fast it comes apart. It's like being a dentist. It's the most. Doesn't have enough boom shot. Doesn't have enough head. Washer back in it. Or it's too short. One left. Holy crap. Look out. That puff of dirt. A little crunchy. Move our bolt again. That's more of these bolts. Adjusting wrench towards the middle. Damn. I'm really surprised these valves move. Oh, rust I'm finding. One stuck. Keeper. And my other armpit. This one's hurt. This keeper does not want to come out, so I'm going to give it a little tap tap. There it is. Keeper. Tap tap. All right. Ooh, that's rusty. And amazingly enough, the valves on this head slide nice. There's one of Rich's heads. I got 2 exhaust studs to fix though. These 2 are okay. These 2 are broken. Not a big deal. I'm going to leave the valves in it because I haven't marked them yet. Got little numbers. Okay, that's one. There's number 2. 2's got good studs. It's really good. 2's in really good shape. Even though 3 of the valves are missing. One right here. Another one right here. Another one right here. Ugh. Well, that was a lot less painless than normal, I'll give it that. But I think a little $30 tool Could use a few improvements. It's definitely not a high output shop tool. It works, but it struggles. I gotta clean up. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, this is like my... Let me shut my grinder off. This is like my third set of dual port heads. And I'm just taking apart, having them apart, because I need to make two and I've only got one. It's any good. Put a keeper out here. There it is. Not too bad, but greasy, just not rusty. This thing is awesome, works really good. That keeper pops out. The other one, not so much. Getting good at this. I almost think I've done this before. She had more heads to take apart. It's kind of fun. It's always the one. And then the spark plug hole. Here's another one. I don't know what it is with dual port heads, but the intake valves are fine. The exhaust valves are usually stuck. This one has two broken exhaust studs, which isn't a bad thing. I can fix those. I have an exhaust stud that is stuck. Yeah, I have to do something about that. Let's see if I can just tap this one out, maybe. No, I don't want to mushroom it. Oh, it's loose. Excellent, excellent. I only have one good head. Now I have two. I can clean these up. Okay, that's one, two, put them in order over here. I don't want them out. That's four. Here's three. Three needs a little tap tap. Something pointed. A little screwdriver. It's coming out. Just struggling. Dirt. There it is. This is my junk valve. I can tell it's all pitted and cut in the edge. This one's nice. It's number one. Alright, so I got a good set of dual port heads here. Well, my second good head. Not too shabby, just dirty. I already cleaned up one. It's on Rich's engine. Sitting over here hanging. All clean, looks pretty good. Let's see. This one's got to be washed. I think I'll stick in the parts cleaner. It happens to have a lot of dirt. Just dirt. Cobwebs. We're going to take it to the garden hose first. Oh, dust. Like nuts and crap. See the nuts and crap? But it looks good. I don't see any cracks. No cracks between the ports. It's dirty. Alright, in the parts cleaner she goes. Hold on. hate about a parts cleaner. Stuff stinks. So the new tool, I like it. Works good. I think I popped apart 4 sets of heads already. Won't be able to do that with those clamp vice things. These things suck so bad. Very plain, very basic, but it works. That's all we need. Spring's still in here. Now I'll show you the head that I rebuilt for Rich's engine. I don't drop my junk valve. Or a good one. Oh, thank God. Put these somewhere safe. Somewhere safe would be nowhere near me. See how this one comes up. Not too shabby. Just one valve. See what it's like. Not too bad. It's got a nice edge. Just needs the tube part of it cleaned up. Do the drill trick. A little bit on the end. With the sandpaper. Yeah, it looks brand new. Just don't too much and don't do too much and ruin it. I'm gonna go up top now though. Just to get the carbon off. Nice. Brandy new. Brandy new used. Let's see, that one's soaking, so I can put this over here. Alright, I said I'd show you Rich's dual port head. This is Rich's dual port head. I don't know how good it looks to you, but you should have seen what it was before. Might be a little oily in there, but yeah, little fingerprints, but nothing crazy. All cleaned up. It's the only good dual port head I have, except for the one I just took apart. I'll sit it on the engine so it doesn't go anywhere. But I did quite a bit. I've had all I can have for tonight. Well worth the 30 bucks, I think. Works good. It was 30 bucks. That's it. I'm going in. You have a good night. Earthquake. Alright, I thought this was kind of funny. Over here we have a single port restored head, all cleaned up. Over here we have a dual port, all restored, all cleaned up. Dual port head slides right onto these jugs, no problem, because these are 1600, what is it, 85.5 millimeter, and they're pretty much made for this. Problem is, single ports do not slide on those, so I either have to have these heads opened up a few millimeters to fit, or go back to dual port. This was originally probably like a 1300 or 1400 or whatever it is cc engine, but it was smaller. Now it's got bigger jugs, bigger pistons. So that's the dilemma of the day. That's why this won't come together, but yet this one is almost together. I just have to change 2 studs. These are the wrong ones. They're like an inch shorter. Rockers are all cleaned up. So this might end up being a 1600 also. This is going to be a 16, probably dual port now, and this is going to be a 17 dual port. whenever somebody buys the parts to make the 17 dual port. My engine will be done before his. I did clean the threads on these, and I got the extra set of nuts that I said I'd probably never use. I'll use them on this engine. I got them on the dual port head. Alright. Brand new. Yeah, it's not even worn. Oh, the troubles. So I got brand new guides and a set of single port heads that I'm not even going to use on this engine, which is like 30 bucks. But you live and you learn. I'll use them eventually on something. There's always plenty of engines coming. Things still look wet looking, huh? Okay, boys and girls, this is the new tool. Worked good. Worked okay. I can say I blew apart more heads in one day than I have in a long time. Ever. That's it. I am going in. You have a good night. I had to bolt it to the table. It's a couple finger tight bolts. See ya. That's Rich. He's leaving. He's going to order his parts. He came to check out his engine. Show him what he's buying. He's buying 945 bucks in parts. What we're going to do is make this a 1700cc. So that slip-in pistons and everything. I just got back a few minutes ago. I had to go to Antrim, New Hampshire, and the reason I went there was I went on Craigslist the other day, and I happened to click Volkswagen and do a search, and this thing popped up and it said something for free. And I emailed the kid and he's like, oh yeah, I'll be down. He's in Burlington, Vermont. That's got to be 2.5 hours up, 3 hours up, something like that. And he said he was coming to New Hampshire tonight, Friday night, and that he'd bring it with him if I could meet him somewhere. Well, that somewhere ended up being Antrim, New Hampshire, and this is what he gave me. And it was free. It was on Craigslist. I added the bracket and the rubbers and trying to insulate it. But it's a hydraulic clutch slave. I've never had one of these. It's made by CNC is the name of the company. But it's like 60 bucks. His name was Tyler. I'd like to thank him for that if he's watching this video. He might be. I'm going to send him a link so he can see it. I can't really pull this tranny out, but I can show you where it goes. This bracket came off this tranny. So that goes there. And it pulls your clutch hydraulically, and it doesn't have to pull it much, only a little bit. I don't think the wing nut fits in here, so I'm going to have to make something. I'd like to get the longer arm for this too. This is the short one. Makes it really hard to push the pedal. Maybe not with this thing, but when it's a regular pedal with a cable, it's pretty hard when it's the short one like that. You put a big one, it's a lot easier. Or I'm either completely backwards, but isn't that cool? Those are so cool. So I really haven't had time to do anything. I was just playing with this thing because I've never had one. That's how it goes. It's like 60, 80 bucks, I believe. I think the Volkswagen brake line screws into this, the rubber brake line. And that one gets capped, or vice versa. And then you connect it to your frame and you run all your lines. And you have to get a master cylinder for up front. Probably the single one that they use for the early Volkswagens, where they use for the brakes. And get some fluid and probably transmission or hydraulic fluid, and you have a hydraulic clutch. Makes it so much easier. I think we're going to use that on the next trike we build, that this engine's probably going to end up going in. But the heads I took apart the other night, they might look good. The heads cases of the aluminum is pretty good. These would actually clean up, but the seats are junk. They're so corroded. The valve seats are all pitted. Maybe cut new ones, maybe put new ones in. I have to see how much that goes for, but if somebody needed a set of dual port heads, I think I got 3 that are like this, where the seats are junk. Maybe, I don't know what it takes to take a valve seat out. I don't think you can grind them either, but there's broken studs and oohs and ahs and boo-boos and nothing you can't fix. Studs are easy. They're real easy to fix. They're not cracked. There's no missing fins. It's a shame to throw them out, so I'll hold on to them because one of these days you're going to need one, you know. So out of probably 6 of these dual ports, I have 2. One of which I cleaned the other day right here, which is sitting on the other engine with the 85.5 millimeter 1600cc pistons that go on this one. This one has a stripped hole for a stud, so I got to get a helicoil kit. I got my tube thing. I just don't have it here. It's in the house, I believe. It hangs on the edge here. I gotta go get that. I think it's in the mailbox. Here's the dual ports. Unless these get fly cut and opened up, they aren't going to go on anything because I don't have any small jugs. Maybe I'll order a small set of jugs, but for 150 bucks, when I already have an engine that's already together, I'm going to find another set of dual port heads. That's just as easy. So Rich's engine should be going together soon as he orders some parts. The wing nut for the hydraulic clutch, this thing is metric. The nuts that go on it are not metric. I was wondering if I could just drill this through and put the nut on it and weld it to it and call it metric. That's how you tighten up your clutch cable. Why couldn't it tighten up your clutch slave? You know what I mean? Or I have to find some way to put like a rubber something so it can pull it at an angle, because the hole that it goes through is not round. It's like triangular. So I'd like to make some kind of rubber insulator or something and make it work. I wonder how that tranny is. So our next trike is not going to be IRS. It's going to be a swing axle. This is an IRS. That is a swing axle right there. Do you see the rod? That's the one from Right Gearbox. It's a highway flyer. It's going in Rich's trike. And the one that's in Rich's trike is going to get connected to this engine. And I'm going to use the Doom Buggy's frame, and I'm going to build another trike. And I'll show you a picture of something close to what it'll look like. I might even do the same thing, but not green. Probably do like a battleship theme. I always like battleships, and I like gray. I don't want to do a military theme because everybody does a military theme. But I was thinking of battleship. What's the best battleship on the planet? I don't know. We'll find out. Everything is just so clean and rusty. That thing's brand new. Look at it. Brand new. Brand new generator. Oh, I stole the long 10mm from a Type 4, I think it was. Comes with a long stud because you can't really reach it because the shroud's in the way, so they put the long stud. I think it goes in the front too. But I got it backwards. I like it that way. I stole the big nut, 10mm, and I put it on the Type 1. I think the Type 4 is flat, doesn't have this bend. But it was on a flat one. I thought it was a Type 4. Maybe it ain't. Could be anything. This, again, is the converted engine. This engine was a center oil cooler, and now it's got the doghouse. It's got the doghouse seals, and they're all gooped in there and compressed flat, and I hope it doesn't leak type deal. You know what I mean? But fix a stud, fix a few things. I gotta go find my rubber thingy. I got a notification that this came in, but I haven't seen it. It's probably sitting in my mailbox waiting for me. Alright, just a quick update. I will add this to the video that I already took last night. I think it was me pressing heads apart, or playing with my new tool here. This thing worked pretty good. What I found out is the head goes the other way. Alright, you flip this thing over. I must have had it on backwards. And when you put it in and you put it down, it comes real close to it, but at least it's at the correct angle now. If I could, I'd drill this hole back about another 1/4 inch, and I'd hit it at a better angle. Or grind some of this off, which I don't want to do because that cup looks like they had fun making that. But I think it was 30 bucks. Works good. Can't beat that. You know? After a while, I was popping these things out like nothing. Like crazy. That's the rods that came with it. Why it needs those, I don't know. I know there's a standoff for it, but the rubber bushings will be just fine. This is metric. This is not. I'm going in. You have a good night. Gotta weld that there. Okay, see ya. Wow, that was a struggle. This is the remains of a Swingaxle frame that I got with a Doom Buggy, and the guy was just a hack artist. I mean, that's what he considered welding in a floor pan, and this is what he considered shortening a floor pan. The bottom panel, as you can see, it's all crumbly here. The bottom panel in there is just like this. It's full of rust. That actually came out of the cradle for the engine, but I took as much as I could. I'm going to take the shifter tube, and I'm going to take this shifter point, and maybe a section of this, or just make my own or something, but this thing's rotted bad. This was a real early swing axle pan. I got the rear cradle out here. I was washing it off. See the drag mark of rust from where it sat out here? You can tell where it sat, right there, all winter. So here it is. See the pits and the rust? I kept this bottom section just so I could figure out the bottom and the angles and all that stuff. I'm going to clean it up and maybe reuse it, skim off the pan. I don't know if I can use the top again, but that's your 2 parking brake lines, and that's the 2 throttle cable, what do you call them, the heater cable lines. I cut off the hooks because I don't really care about the hooks. I can weld anything on. I got to clean all this up, hammer that down and weld it. Probably put some pipes out the front. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Mess. I washed it out in here. I got to pull the rubber out. But it's a swing axle. I wanted a swing axle, and this one was free, so that's Trike number 3, I guess, if you consider Rich's and mine being Trike 1 and 2. So this is the extra engine, free frame, just a bunch of things being put together. It really wasn't bad here, just full of dirt. I mean, I started cutting, and the next thing you know, the thing was on fire because there was so many leaves in it. But I can fix anything. I gotta clean my driveway. I got a skid mark of rust. Alright, doing some more. I gotta drag this in and drag all of this crap out after I get that shifter point off. And get this tube out, because it's pretty rusted. Oh, it's got a slotted tube, meaning it used an earlier shifter like this one. Where is it? It's right here. Here it is. Here's an earlier shifter with the pin. Really, really short. Just so this shifter doesn't spin around, it's got that little pin. Here's the tunnel. This guy was just a hack. Oh my god, I don't think look at, if it didn't weld, he put something over it, welded it more. I gotta say this, because I need those VIN numbers. 58, blah, 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 I can't even see it. There's torsion tubes in the arms, there's no covers. Alright, I'm gonna cut the rest of this sucker up. Hopefully we can get that centerpiece out and the shift tube. Alright, see you in a bit. Well, there it is, the start of Trike number 3. Yeah, that's a IRS transmission on a swing axle frame, but it bolts up and it fits. I'm just setting it there for now. I don't have any axle tubes. Actually, I do have axle tubes there and there. I have to change Rich's transmission. This one right here is the one he's putting in, and the one that's in his Trike is the one that's going to be going on here. It's a shame that frame was so rotted. I got to clean up this edge, get rid of all these old floor pans and whatnot, and see if I can use this, even if it's just additional metal for something to weld to, or to keep it level in front, because I don't want the engine pointing up or down like the last project. So this is the start. Actually, that engine was the start. This is the start of a frame. I'm out of breath. It's pretty nice out today. I had to close the door because there's so much sunshine shining in the door right there. You can't even see with the camera on, so I'm just walking around. I do have other transmissions too. There's one under there. There's that one there. And I think there's one outside too. I have a full IRS rear suspension outside. Actually, I have 2 of them. But I want a swing axle for this Trike. I must have washed out 5 pounds of dirt out of the inside of this thing. A lot of it was up on the tubes for some reason. The bottom of this tube is a little thin in one spot. I'll put a patch over it. Check the other side. It is just sheet metal. I mean, you don't expect it to last forever. It's probably 50 years old or plus as it is. Just got to get rid of this stuff. That's actually the bottom of the pan, where it rivets together. The 2 panels come together and they spot weld them together. This is the old floor pan, which has been welded over twice, I think. That's it. I am beat. I am going in. This video is probably going to be a mix of 2 days. I forget what the hell I did the other day. I know it had to do with the engine and restoring heads and stuff, but this is the start of Trike number 3. It's kind of a clone of a guy online. I completely forget his name right now. I lost my mind. Oh wow, this one's got a reverse switch. That's unusual. That's because it's IRS, and this has got to be a really old pan, because it's got the low swing axle, It's got holes I've never seen. I don't remember these holes. What the hell are those holes for? It had bolts in them, and they're not shocks, so who knows. But just more mounting points, you know. What do you do? But that's it. I'm going in, you guys. Until next time, have a good night. Oh, I had one other thing here. This is the rear brake line. No, I'm sorry. This is the front brake line from a Volkswagen. Probably Super Beetle, whatever. But it screws right into the master cylinder, or the slave cylinder for the clutch. You have to buy a bleeder valve for this one. And you use one of the mount clips like this. That's a mount clip. This actually goes in that hole like that. And there's a clip that goes on it, but that's for the brake lines. This would be for the slave cylinder, which would go right here. I actually took the nut off. I took the wing nut off and I drilled it through so it just floats, and then I put a nut behind it. Now that's only temporary, but I like to keep the triangle shape of the nut here, so it'll be a butterfly back there. Like I said, this isn't a circle, it's like an oval shape. So this will go on there, like that. And then I'll need another brake line clip. I'll weld something on the head to hold the brake line. And since it's a swing axle, the axles will be sealed in the tube, so I don't have to worry about it chafing or anything. It's pretty neat. I cushioned both sides of it with the oil cooler rubbers. Keeps it on center and keeps it cushioned. Might get a new line. I just wire brush this one clean. This one's okay, it'll be fine. But we're going to have a power clutch, a hydraulic clutch, which is, I've never had one, so it should be pretty cool. Alright, see ya. I am so tired right now. Alright, well I went in and I had dinner and I come back out for a few hours before it gets to 9 o'clock and somebody complains. My torsion rods don't want to come out of the plates, so I've been heating the outsides of the plates, not the torsion rods. And they're marked left and right. Actually, it's just marked right. There is no left. I've been heating the outside and just filling them with PB Blaster. PB Blaster is good stuff. Look at this. PB Blaster. And I have all the bolts for this, believe it or not. All the stuff I have everything. And I pulled the shifter out that I had and I sandblasted the plate. And I didn't have any black, so I used some of that this stuff here. I like this stuff. It works good. It's better than black paint. Rust-Oleum truck bed coating. Not really thick. You don't gotta spray on a lot. And I painted the shifter, and I've had this like pool ball thing for a couple of years. It actually has a hole in the bottom so you can light it up. So I might drill a hole and find a way to put an LED in this thing. But I thought it was neat. It's a good size. My hand. It's a good size. It's not too big. It's a stock shifter. Goes straight up. So there's no pin on this one like the other one. Tomorrow I can put the thing together. I cleaned up the booty. And I put some grease on it so it won't be all dried up. It's not too bad. Just a little dry. But tomorrow I can put this together. It's one of those little things you get to play with. This thing's really cool. You don't want to know what I paid for this. I think I bought this like a year ago for 40 or 50 bucks. It was crazy. This is my friend Jeff's toolbox. He's going to be moving in. He's got a few, he's got a Baja Bug and a couple other things. I figured, you know, it's nice to have a friend that works on the same shit, so he can hang around the garage and mess with things too. Maybe it'll get me out here more often. But I've been out here all day. I did clean, by the way. I cleaned the garage before I made this mess. I moved things and organized things. All the Volkswagen stuff is in milk crates over here. There was a lot of stuff under here. I got it out of the way. I had to bring this in. It was outside under a tarp. I didn't like it out there. I just used this, so I can put that away in a little bit. Maybe. We'll see. Rich's engine's here. I pushed my engine over here near the compressor because the cart rolls. So my engine's under covers because I was grinding and cutting and all kinds of stuff. Electrical crap. There's Volkswagen everywhere, like any day. But this is a nice little toolbox. I think it was 89 bucks, US General. It's 89 or 100, something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got like 5 drawers and a shelf. That's not bad. Maybe I should get one of those and get rid of the, not so much this thing, but this monster over here. This thing is just, it ends up being a crap collector. This box doesn't like to open. This box struggles to open. They don't have the roller bearings in them. This is my metric set. And that's about it. So tomorrow I'll get these apart. I have another set of torsion rods. They're in the corner of the garage over there from that earlier swing axle that I had that turned out to be a real piece of crap. So tomorrow, this could be something simple. I'm just going to wire brush the life out of these things, get this grease and sap and crap off, and they're going to be black bed liner also. I like Battleship Gray. I think I'm going to do the whole frame on this one in Battleship Gray, maybe even the transmission. But the engine isn't going to be touched. It's going to stay its factory nasty bare aluminum, magnesium, you know, rusty cast iron, just the way it is. I like that look. Nice clean frame and an older engine. It looks, why can I not remember this guy's name? I'll put his name in the thing. He sent the measurements over the internet of his trike. I like his design. It uses it uses a tunnel. It uses the frame and the tunnel up the middle. My tunnel's junk, so I'm going to end up finding a tunnel, doing something with this mess. Maybe tomorrow I'll go get the one that I threw out today with Jeff. We chucked one, but it was an IRS. I really didn't want another IRS, and he had cut it off, but he cut it off kind of funky. He cut it off towards the front, so maybe I can salvage it and just get a piece of the tunnel and use it with this one. Who knows? I only need like 24 inches or so to make it fit, but hey, if it's for free, it's for me. But that's it. I'm going in. I swear to God, I'm going in. Have a good night.